Fine. I'll do that one first.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur, or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to 420.
We've got to get moving. We gotta stay loose, you know? Let it cool. Let the coolness get into our vertebrae.
I've been jotting all along, they remind me of a time I've forgotten. I was plotting on a song, I was riding, I was squatting in that lot, and quickly things reached a new height. Tonight, I'm writing in the King's Speech, a new life, fresh clothes, new Nikes. When you rap how I do, then you do what you like. My ascension was bold, I was grown in the winter, I was always meant to be cold. Carry on a blood tradition many centuries old, and that's why you love to listen to the vengeance we owe. Let's go off in the spinning wheel of havoc, it's a paradox. Back in the violent time travel, yeah, I'd rather not. Things was looking bleak, now we didn't have a lot, but I don't need too much, just as long as I have a shot. Finding dope with the needle in the haystack, searching for a blinding hope. We've been going way back, future tripping to discover we've been killed. Means nothing in the present moment, all your cards reading zilch.
What we about to do here is get into some raw shit. Look. Shooting for the stars, that was never an option for us. I was dry from the bus, onto the dust. So fuck a star, I hit the rockets above. Hostile as fuck, locked in the cuffs, and I was boxed in for months. And I'm stopping when my pockets are stuffed with profits from drugs, options and tons. Studied the game with my own very optics, it's bugged. Loyalty is royalty, no talking the gums, it's sockets and plugs. While Crockett and Tubbs try to watch what you done. Fuck that, they could lick my crotch and my bum. 9mm wanna kill a Peter, I'm finna be the one to show up and blow up, go up, what? Hey, I bombed the meanest, everyone was on the penis as soon as they heard the song that Copy did with John Salinas. Copy might slam him if the shotty's hype jamming. Shout to John and the fucking Gotti crime family.
The beast out here can't fuck with us, got him living in fear. We off that raw, catch us in your city with some G's on tour. The beast out here can't fuck with us, got him living in fear. We off that raw, catch us in your city with some G's on tour. Raised on honor traditions like Albanian bass, I made the score of a lifetime. Then lay low down in Mesa, no trace of a chaser. You get the pure shot, showing off in the club, they're waiting for you in the lot. You sound dumber than a thought, trying to teach manners. This New England's best, take a look at all the banners in the street like city planners. Real G's the quiet kind, bragging about your paper, got you in a bind. No school books, screw crooks after your bag. Wanted to be gang till you got cap for your flag. Even a capo ratted like those codes never mattered. Now they're looking to line him like he was waiting to get tatted. The block is shattered, better off in the burbs. I seen too many friends die to give a fuck about curbs. Built tough like the Serbs, my words are superb. Got a look on my face that says, do not disturb. Ha.
Stand for your huru, plan for buku bucks like Mansa Musa. Study the hand that shoots ya, child soldier from the land of Hutu. Eating spam out the can, not fufu. Pulled up in a tan of Zuzu while you're buying a gram of doodoo. Now you're dead, Alabama Zulu. No more spamming YouTube. Trying to be what Pele is to soccer. The #1 chief rocker. Move units like Jordans at Foot Locker. And move souls and chakras. Spit animal bars, Chewbacca. Spit venom mixed with vodka. Bad blood like Neil Sedaka. Pitch this heat like Tanaka. Strike like a panther. Biting my style's not the answer. Bite off your ear like a Vander. Villainous like motherfucking Cobra Commander. You spit slanderous propaganda. Feeding your constituency cancer. I spit street sonnets and eloquent stanzas at random foreign verandas. You spit lies about pandas. I'm the eucalyptus to the koala. Follow my rhymes like devotees follow Allah. Christians with the Bibles, Jews and their Kabbalahs.
Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just load an obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they see me. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they drive the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place. I wanna be first, work till it hurts. Dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off, I'ma break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft, you can change lives, you create thoughts. Never waste time, you got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off, what do you like? Make a dream job, no 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they see me. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they drag the chains, you can say no, free me.
All right, we got one more for you. Got one more. Let's see.
All right, what's going on? How we doing for? How was that for an intro? What do we got? What do we got going on? All right.
Cool. All right, I got. Hey, we can talk a little bit for a second. That's cool. And then we can play this other song. So this show's on the Electric Universe.
Yeah, the Electric Universe. What do I know about the Electric Universe? Okay, the Electric Universe. I came across it about a couple years ago when I was already looking at the flat Earth, and I was starting to figure out everything about the flat Earth and see it for myself. And then I seen L.C. King come out with the Electric Universe, and it was all just too advanced for me at first. I was just like, whoa, You know what I mean? I was like, you know, this is too much, and I didn't look at it for a while. And then there was times when I was like late at night when I was bored, and I really, really did try to look at it, and I understood like bits and pieces of it. So basically, everything's made out of electricity, right? And the Earth is like a battery, right? And the sun is a cathode, and the moon is a diode, right? So it's like the negative anode, anode and cathode, anode and cathode, right? What's a diode?
Diode is I think it's a connector. We'll look it up. We'll look it up.
We'll look it up. We'll look it up. All right. So anyway, so we got the anode and the cathode. So that's basically like the negative and positive side of a battery, right? Like so basically what they're saying is the sun charges the moon, right? So the moon has its own light, but it during the day when the moon is off and the sun's on, the sun's charging the moon. And then the moon's when the sun goes down, the moon goes off, right?
Hold up 1 second.
Something like that, right? All right. I'll bring this up.
Oh, here. All right.
Yeah,
now I'm back. Okay. So I just had to pause something in the background.
Yeah. If you ever have to take a break, let me know.
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely. That's my intro to the electric universe was even before flat Earth. And when I first started hearing about it, it was just things started making sense of like how energy moves and things like that. But I'm starting to realize that our whole thought of electricity itself might be off. Like, you know, like it's not this thing that can be harnessed, but it's something that's part of the air, the ether, like the ether moves through it, you know. So that's what you know, so it's I'm trying to dig a little deeper. But what I love about the electric universe is everything having to do with it. The people who are leading the electric universe, the work within it, most of them, I would want to say, because it's hard for me to find a flat Earth one, but most of them are of the heliocentric model, you know. So they're trying to put this electric universe model and using NASA and data and things like that are coming from all these other sources, and it's throwing them off, and it's making it really hard for them to put things together. The ones that actually make the most discoveries are the ones that stick to Earth. You know, it's like if you just stick to here, then you're going to discover more, you're going to gain more work, and don't try to apply it to all of that out there, all of NASA's you know, work.
Because then because it's all fake, and then they just drag you out into the middle of nowhere, and then you get sucked into a vacuum in the infinite amount of space, zero temperature,
and suddenly you're talking about how galaxies form and things like that. You're trying to apply it to stars and galaxies and all these other things instead of just applying it just to here.
Next thing you know, you feel like you're 93 million miles away from everybody, and that you exploded out of an explosion and got created. All right, explosions don't create things. Explosions destroy things. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
So let's watch this video. This dropped yesterday, and this kind of is what inspired me. I was like, hey, let's do a show on Electric Universe. This was pretty awesome. So
all right,
so let's go ahead. We'll throw this. This will set the mood.
Yeah, I wish I had downloaded it ahead of time. Let me mute myself.
All right,
and mute over there. Just
the moon's shadow is coming.
Nice. All right.
Party on, Waynettes.
That was awesome. That was an awesome video. Whoever made it really took a lot of time to pack a lot of stuff in there.
David
So,
J. Karen, man, he's what I aspire to be as far as production goes for a music.
I wasn't watching it. I was listening.
These people setting the bar high, dude. Because I make videos now too, and I'm like, I think my videos are pretty good, and then I see like music videos like that, and it's just jam packed.
Well, we know how hard it is to do that. That is hard to do.
Yeah,
you have to have a good running computer. We find out, not just any computer.
That helps a little bit.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, you can't have
five times during one.
You can't have a computer from 1995 that somebody just found in a downstairs somewhere, and just someone else brought over an old monitor and just
got like 10 years.
What are you doing down there, Jedi? What do you got going on today, Singe? I saw you over there playing with something.
Oh, this is my staff.
You want to go
this
full
screen? This is my $300.
You gonna go full screen with this?
This is my $300 carbon fiber that you can just slam it. It doesn't, but it's very light. It has these tubes at the end.
It's a tube you can put lights in.
You can also take it off there. Every piece is replaceable. You can unscrew this and.
Oh, that's cool. So you
take it, which has. I got one on the back too. So ooh, it's pretty bright.
Oh, that is like Jedi shit, dude. That's a Jedi shit. You're a Jedi, dude. You're like a Luke Skywalker.
It's got two, or you can take one off like that.
That's awesome.
Turn that off.
I know both of you guys.
There's like 4 different patterns. I mean, 4 different sections, and each section has different things. And then you can go into each light and change them a little bit, different patterns. And then you can make them all match together at the same time by hitting one button. But this is the cool part. See, there's the light right there. And it's attached to there. You can take one off if you can't afford, because they're like $30 each.
Yeah.
Just buy
if you had that out, in the like pitch black.
This right here is worth $30 itself.
I've got 2 of those broken.
Oh, you have one of these?
Long time ago when I first started, getting light up staffs.
This is from Flow Toys?
Flow Toys, that's where I got it, from Flow Toys.
Okay. They've improved on it. So this goes in like that.
You guys have been doing this for years, dude. You guys have been doing this for years. This is new to me. I never even seen one of these things. He's like, oh, when I was like 15, I had one of those. Oh, man.
And then you got one of these.
I'm behind.
Snap it in and then just start jamming. And
a lot better than I was then, though. I wouldn't drop it.
Pretty cool. You can get the sound going. And then with this other one, I have my rope dart.
Yeah.
You can sit over on the sideline and control my colors as I spin. You can change my colors by hitting the button.
Cool.
So
Well, anyway,
someone else while you're concentrating, they can change the lights.
Not to cut you off, but let's get back into the electrical universe.
No, let's buy more staffs. I'm gonna get another one.
Yeah. All right. Well, so that video that you just showed, it was basically showing what I got out of it was it's buoyancy and density and not gravity, right? That's what they're trying to tell you.
Something here.
Buoyancy,
it's vibration.
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 Frequency. Right?
Frequency. Yes. And that is the key. See, they told us our universe was built off of atoms, off of little things. But I've come to find out it's actually built off of frequencies and vibrational patterns.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. The 6 foot love.
You know what else I saw?
Whatever.
When I went real quick, while I'm thinking of this, while he's talking about that, real quick. When I went to the Museum of Scientism, Boston, when I went there, they had a thing about they had an electricity room, and they had Tesla coils, and they were showing Tesla coils and big ones and little ones, and they were explaining it. And they said, Tesla said, if you can learn the difference between the numbers 3, 6, and 9 are the keys to the universe. Those 3 numbers, 3, 6, and 9. Something about those numbers
Mm-hmm.
in Tesla.
It was
read
the bouncing pattern, energy pattern. Yeah, we'll kind of go into that. I've got.
I heard about that. I had something like this. You could set on a wall, and it was like size. You could put it on something, and it would break the building down eventually. Because remember, you ever hear that?
Yeah.
Oh
like,
yeah, that's the break step, the break step bridge, or the oscillating machine. Yeah, I call it break step because they talked about soldiers marching in in sync that they would vibrate and cause a bridge to collapse. And so Tesla proved that thought process by creating a machine that would do that would vibrate and find the frequency of a building. And they said when he turned it on, it shook like 3 blocks.
Wow.
And the funny thing about Tesla,
they made him turn it off. They said, whoa, this is way too dangerous. So.
All of a sudden, all these stories about Tesla, like all this history with Tesla, come out of nowhere. When I went, I don't remember them teaching me about Tesla in school. They taught us about Edison, but like I just learned about Tesla maybe like 2015, and now all of a sudden there's like so much history. Dude, there's a Tesla chandelier in Boston. We looked at it. You know what I mean? Like Molly.
Vibrations, man. Vibrations.
Good vibration.
So we don't even know. What I'm trying to say is we don't even know if Tesla was a real person or if Tesla was just someone that they're using to get the idea in our head of free energy. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel anyway. I feel like it could be they want to bring us up to speed on the free energy. They want to like like they say like in that song that I played, I'm from your ancient future. Well, like the ancient past with all these buildings, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen again. We're gonna go into an age when we have great technology buildings and stuff like that. And I think
good thing I'm growing younger instead of older.
They're trying to get the people ready. The whole plane, the entire plane. They're trying to get us
growing younger
in the idea. So they introduced Tesla, and then they named the car after him too. You know what I mean? And the company and all that bullshit. SpaceX.
I'm gonna grow up and be a burden on society. That's my goal. When I grow up.
Yeah.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I always thought he was like a red herring to show how free energy wasn't possible. Like we needed this grid system because Tesla was the guy who tried to do it, and if he couldn't figure it out, then it wasn't possible.
Right, only one person in the world could do it. It's like, well, forget it.
Well, yeah,
crazy.
Nobody can do this. But the problem is there's too much evidence showing that Tesla did succeed.
Like, okay, is he getting some alien downloads and shit? Like waking up and going, what? I don't even know how I thought of it, but here you go. You know, I've done it before.
And then I don't know. You know, the story about Tesla is all right. So they killed him, right? Basically, they killed him because he wanted to bring the world free energy. He wanted to make it so like the way we have these wires going to our house outside, and they're charging us with a meter for electricity. He wanted to make it no more. So they killed him.
Stick a wire in the air and be like,
I mean, he died in his hotel, supposedly, on the corner of where that big hotel is, and that's where I said last night where the Bunker Hill Monument, the big tall penis Bunker Hill Monument thing, and the Washington Monument, they intersect on the map.
At the Trump Hotel
in a
where he died.
Perfect triangle where he died.
At the Trump Hotel.
Professional way.
Trump Hotel, yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where he died.
Yep. There you go. So I was right about that. I said it last night.
I remember. I was listening and thinking in my head, oh, I know that one. I know what you're talking about.
He's right. Ray, you're right. I wish he was on the show last night. Oh well.
Man, yeah, I would have liked to talk to
Bill Miller's doing a little better. I talked to him today. So Bill Miller, he's been sick, but he's doing better. Thanks for all the prayers. And I told everybody to pray for him. And then today he's doing. I mean, it's not me. It's God that helped him. But I'd like to think I helped him a little bit. But you know,
Good vibrational energy.
Good vibration, and all the prayers, and all the people who prayed for him. All the people who prayed for him. Obviously, I mean, I can't take all the credit. You know what I mean?
So I found when I was looking. Oh, do you want to talk, Singe? You got something?
No.
I found.
I'm always retarded. Don't worry about me.
I was looking for when I was first getting into Electric Universe. I found the Thunderbolts project. They're probably one of the leading people behind Electric Universe. The problem is when you go to their YouTube page, the last few years, it's all space related, trying to convince the people at NASA, trying to convince everybody that all of this is all part of the electric stuff. And they're using the NASA computer graphics, you know, the animation pictures and their data and all this.
Can I say one thing? Yeah. Not to cut you off, but I think the word Electric Universe might even be a bad name because they're using the word universe right in there. Universe, it reinforces space, right?
Yeah.
And there's only one.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, wait, really?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe we can think of a better name. Maybe we can rename it.
This is what why I call it the Electric Universe. I'll explain. When I was in sociology, they taught us something called universals. Now, universals are across every culture. The same thing meant the same thing. A smile meant a smile. Someone crying meant emotional reaction, meant sadness, or could even be happiness if there's a smile involved. You could tell, though. These are universals. I think Electric Universe is an electric universal. It's something like the flat Earth plane that we all can stand on and come together. Okay, like knowing that we're created. It's one of those things. Like I'm into it because I feel like in every culture across and it doesn't matter who you are. This is something that's a universal truth. And I think hunting down universal truths are important. And that's how we come together, is by hunting down these universal truths. So,
yeah, you notice I'm not afraid to look at anything. If someone, you asked me yesterday, hey, Ray, you want to do a show on the Electric Universe? And I said, I didn't even know who it was. Everybody got a raise on my phone.
Sure.
Like, yes, 100%. Who is this?
Like, yeah. What's electricity? What's the universe? Let's do this.
Yeah, like, all right. Like, the first thing I thought was universe, but I'm a flat earther. All right, fine, let's go.
So the first thing I want to show is a presentation, and it's the geometry of Earth's endogenous electrical energy, which endogenous means coming from within, the electrical energy coming from within, and it's him. I like this one because he's taken raw data from multiple sources and putting it together to understand it. Now, there are a lot of big words, and he throws some things out there, and he refers to a couple of other things. So we're going to kind of read in between the lines, and we have to put on our flat Earth imaginary cap for when he busts out his globe. That's not for teaching, but he's going to use it for teaching, and we're going to have to flatten things out. But as you'll see during the presentation, he runs into the issue that it doesn't work very well when you have the sun spinning around to explain what he's trying to say. No, it works just fine if the Earth is stationary and everything is going around it. So
yeah.
So that's
it works just fine if the STFU.
I mean, if it's flat, he's basically telling you the Earth is flat. It works on a flat Earth. He's like, it doesn't work on the spinning model that they're trying to make you believe, but I can't tell you that.
But he won't get his funding or get accredited by his peers if he says it only works on a flat model.
Yeah.
So he's got to try to mathemagic. He's got to try to find the way to make it work. So,
to be able to tell us about it without getting in trouble with his peers and ruin his reputation.
Yeah. And I can probably crank down the volume so we can kind of talk over this because we're going to kind of discuss it as it goes.
It's nice
so
to
what's
be here
this, like
today
a TED,
to
almost like a
discuss
TED talk?
The continuing effects of the electric universe concepts.
This is 2016.
The title of my presentation: Geometry of Earth's Endogenous Electrical Energy.
Back when they were doing conferences.
Endogenous is just for internal origin, is the term that means. it's not very familiar term.
There you go. We learned a new word
I wanted
today.
to kind of give you a
Let me get me some water.
overview
Be
of
right
what
back.
I'm going to try to present in this presentation. I'm trying to develop some geometry to understand a conceptual framework to comprehend some of these electrical universe concepts. And first I'm going to show some basic circuits tied to platonic solids. It's an artistic approach inspired by Frank Chester. Also include a Wikipedia version for thoroughness.
I don't know about
geometric
Wikipedia.
progression. And then I relate it to a classical physics
No, it
approach
is actually
of
because
the
why?
Cowling's dynamo theorem.
Why?
And then I try to weave that into real world examples to decipher some relationships of this internal energy.
What a weirdo!
And then I try to relate that to earthquakes,
Is he like the only person in the world to
climate
call
change, and show you the interrelationship.
He's such an intellectual. He's
it's
never
tied
heard
to
of that
that in
website until he
our
discovered it just recently.
I don't get into the solar activity relationships this year, but last year, if you saw the Earth as a stellar transformer, that's where I tie the solar activity into this. But I'm not going to focus on that today.
The eclipses are hard to explain, y'all.
Without moving. Is going to be
Try to explain. All right.
To these
hard to
shapes.
rebuild
This
that
is your basic
technology.
tetrahedron, your three-sided pyramid, with your basic Y circuit at the top and a delta circuit at the bottom. This triangle at the bottom.
So you see what he's saying here?
This is your basic building block of what I'm going to talk about.
He's
today.
referring that as a
Platonic
circuit board.
Solids. Again, you see the tetrahedron with the Y circuit at the top and the base of the pyramid as a delta circuit. So this is your fire element, basically the basic electric component.
Gravy.
Of
See, I
all
told you
these
tetrahedrons of
platonic solids
trust.
are
I
built
told
on
you.
this.
Even has
We're gonna
ether
look
on
at
here.
This in the next slide, the pentagon shape of the ether, and
Oh God.
this is a
Yeah, exactly, mister.
provides a simple yet elegant conceptual framework for understanding or exploring the Earth's electrical geometry. There's your build on the
North
pentagon
Pole
shape.
observations. He had to use the North Pole
Pretty quick.
for his
But,
observation.
you saw that in the ether.
Just flatten
and then
that
I
map
zoom
out,
into
bro.
the Earth,
It's
You
cool.
see a hexagonal feature at the
I know.
North Pole, and you see the triangle
right.
in the center.
It's nuts. So the
And I'll show
North
a
Pole is where all
relation to John
is
Quinn's
where all the
magnetic-
energy's coming from.
Yeah, yeah. This is
Yeah.
This is
There you go. The triangle in the middle. So these are multi-phase circuits. It looks like at the North Pole, and what kind of inspired me to look into this was
Sorry.
because I looked at climate change. I knew that
They're used to it on your
I have
channel.
them labeled as hot.
Yeah, mine would be worse.
The tips
If
of
I was
this
in
equilateral
charge.
triangle, when I noticed this relationship, are all tied to climate change. This the Alaskan low is teleconnected to the Siberian
Sounds like it's
high.
echoing now.
This is over Lake Baikal, or Baikal in Siberia. There's a high pressure center that sits right over this all the
All right, I'm back.
We echoing?
time. There's a low pressure that sits over the Aleutians right here. And over Iceland,
You
there's
just I didn't
another
touch
low pressure
nothing.
cell.
You didn't touch nothing. It
It's
just started
teleconnected
echoing for no
to
reason.
An azole high pressure cell that controls
Sorry,
European
no.
weather pattern.
We tried to
Tree of life. Yes.
See I call these Joule antenna based on Giovanni Gregori's theory, but after hearing Dr. Scott's lecture in the last presentation,
No, it's not.
these
It's
may
not
be
the
the
mic.
anode tufts or photospheric tufts.
It's StreamYard.
Have to look into that a little bit more. But
I gotta look up
analogy
that photospheric
to these
tufts.
features that we've been calling Joule spikes, based on our sea urchin spikes. based on the biological model of Giovanni. And if you notice these offsets to a deeper blue layer, this is where your double layer, if you look at the depths over here, you have the reds are shallow. So you have a Z-pinch here between these that connects the deep double layer to the shallow upper level on the mantle. And these look like they're related to the anatufts, or we call them jewel antenna, but we don't want to be too confusing with all these terms. But this is what I believe is the multi-phase circuitry of the delta circuit configuration at the North Pole. If you look, you have a depression here in the Arctic Ocean.
No, you're just using
Ridge,
Google
right
Maps.
North Pole.
Yeah.
At the south,
I don't know. I
you
mean,
have
it looks
the
like he
raised
just drew a bunch of lines on a
continent
map,
of Antarctica.
but I'm
So
sure
it
there's
creates
some
a dimple and a point,
some science behind it.
okay, and that's the shape of a heart shape. We're going to relate that more to the human heart a bit more, but I just wanted to show you that relationship.
You guys hear the echo? I didn't know.
Yeah. I don't know what the echo's from. It's not you, Singe. I tried to.
Oh, I wanted to show you
It's
this
stream
other
yard.
delta. This one. Now, this one I picked out because of the
Oh, he is-
oscillation systems.
Could be just his system.
This one I
too.
just turned to create the star, six-pointed star. So I just rotated it, and it came out at these other tectonic features. This is the tip of the Aleutians, Kamchatka. And you notice an interesting connection to Hawaii. So these may be electrical conduits. This is the Hudson Bay, a large ocean area in North America. And then you have the Caspian Sea over here, which is on this, I consider this a vortex street through the Mediterranean. Anyway, so the geometry
flatten the map
comes out on
out.
these tectonic features.
So frustrating.
We'll talk about that a little bit more. I'm still focused on the geometry. So we'll look
Here
at,
we go.
we got the fire element here, the three-sided pyramid. Over here, put that in a sphere. And what you see is one point easily hits the top of the sphere. These other points also hit the circle down here, but there's this large gap. If you put two tetrahedrons in there and invert one, then you have what I consider Y circuits at all the points. But if you look at a common quartz crystal, and this one is faceted, you see the facets, so shave this off a bit, but you can see these pronounced deltas inside the quartz crystal. And this could be an inverted tetrahedron. It could be some other geometry that explains it. But this is your double delta circuit, was just like I showed you at the North Pole.
It's just so interesting how this ties into everything, like the shapes,
Common
you know?
quartz crystals.
Like we see it everywhere, all over the building.
Exactly.
This is the Wikipedia evolution of
They know
There's that word again.
geometry. And call it a diminished trigonal trapezohedron. That's a mouthful.
Maybe he's being honey.
But
Like
I
why?
see that.
basically,
Yeah.
a common, what they call a special case.
All right, here we
is a
go.
cube. The way you, well, one of the problems I had is that I was trying to figure out how you get a dipole from the tetrahedron because all the Y's were pointed in every direction. There was no delta. So how do you get a delta? Well, you have to shave off one of the apexes. And if you do that, you come up with this gyro elongated triangular pyramid. It has 10 equilateral triangles, 3 at the top, 1 at the base, and then 6 that come around the circle this area. If you convert these 6 equilateral triangles into 3 kites, you come up with another special case called the chestahedron. Now, as I said, this I was inspired to look into this by a video I watched by Frank Chester, and we'll review that again in a minute. But you see at the top here you have a delta, and then you have your Y here at the base. So it's a convenient geometry to explain the dipole, and that's what I was trying to find. There's some other concepts. The trees of life have this similar configuration.
There you go. Trees of life.
So back to this, you see.
Is that a kid chopped in the globe?
Points. Those are Y circles. So where's the delta? Well, if you look how a chestahedron fits into the globe, you see the gap up here at the point here. And again, this is what creates the structure of the heart shape. You have the point at the South Pole. Antarctica is a raised continent. And you have the dimple at the North Pole, the sinking effect. And we think this is tied to the energy flow through the planet. So the chestahedron fits, in my opinion, better than other geometry that I've looked at. This is one of the websites. You can see some videos that explain this in more depth. I don't have time to go through his full explanation, but it's pretty interesting. This slide shows you the basic relationship to the electronic circuits. There's your delta circuit.
See, again, we got to flatten this curve out, guys. Flatten this out. Okay.
Yeah.
And make it not a ball in space, but a flat plane
explains
with the energy going down.
Way. This induction method in the deep earth, that's a bit mysterious.
Yeah.
We've analyzed the energy flow through this pretty well. We've satellite data and all types of observational data sees this.
Satelloon data.
This is a bit mysterious. I believe it's controlled by this type of geometry.
Here we go. I like this.
Review the geometry a little bit more. I'm going to beat this horse a little bit.
Check this out, Ray.
There's your sculpture. This is a chestahedron sculpture. If you spin this, you get this bell shape, and you can see that it creates a hole or a dimple or a vortex well on this end, and again you have your tip here.
So remember how you guys were talking bells were tech, and we didn't know what bells were used for?
Uh-huh.
It's to create some sort of vortex, I think.
In the middle.
Yeah,
like
some
center,
sort of tunnel.
The center of the.
I know y'all can
yeah,
try
all right,
that,
I got you.
If you want to try
That's crazy.
And it's an antenna. It becomes an antenna when it does that.
Mr. Adolf had something to do
much
with
better
that.
job of explaining the relationships.
A giant one. But I was thinking the smaller ones are just, you can smaller
antennas,
look
at how that's tied.
Yeah, it's like they probably were giant at first, and then they started making them smaller as time went on.
The Tsar bell, they
else.
built 3 of them, and all 3 of them were destroyed, and they were huge.
It makes me think of time machines or teleportation.
These two together.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The Hitler bell, the Nazi bell
has a configurations.
Well, the Russians built 3 bells too themselves, called the Tsar bell.
But if you relate that to
and they all failed as well. The towers they were built in got burned down, or that's the story.
The unstable configuration.
I always thought that they dropped giant bells to call towards the center of the earth or something back when I was young and first heard the story.
It's an unstable configuration.
Well, if they were making antennas and they were making this vortex in the middle, and then they're sending signals from each one, they're just doing something that's probably beyond us that we can't even understand.
Magnetic field.
They were doing something beyond us, definitely. Yeah.
The unstable.
I remember picturing actually digging down through Earth and coming up in China.
You had these are your magnetic fields. I'm sorry, electric fields.
It just feels like they're getting us ready for something. They want us to learn this shit. They want us to know this stuff.
Electric field in the middle of 2 magnetic fields, that's your unstable configuration.
They want us to have this part, but not the flat Earth part. See, they want us. They had to make it work with this. They needed the people to make it work with this
Collapsing
first.
is through the Y. So
yeah,
it
works with both. flat Earth
lightning goes
and with the
into
the
the
circle
Earth.
now that they
I'll almost
finally
draw
figured it
this.
out.
Let's see if I can do that.
Who knows? Maybe
You have
it doesn't even work with the circle.
There's your
as
Y
good
at the
with the
base.
globe.
We'll just draw this one up.
Yeah,
And
Glenn says
that's
and
why
somewhere up in
that's why
the
nobody can figure.
ionosphere,
That's why nobody can figure it out. Is good because they're trying to
is your
do it on a
delta.
globe. Try to do it
So
on the
the
flat Earth. I
energy
bet you it will work.
condenses or collapses towards the Earth and expands away from the Earth.
So I think the
into
delta
ionosphere.
is more like this line
Back to
is
this.
the South Pole. This is
We're looking at these. We call these jewel antenna.
It's more of a
Anatufts
South
works
Pole
for me, or
line.
photospheric tufts.
I don't know. I'm still trying
As
to
far as the
work it
charge
out.
goes, we're looking at relationships to atmospheric pressure, high pressure and low pressure. So those might be the anode versus the photospheric tufts. In any event, at the tips of these features are mantle vortexes. If you look at basic topography, you'll see yin-yang structures in several places on the planet. The Band of Sea is one area I've looked at. At the tip of the Indonesian island arc, there's this huge swirl fault feature. The pressure cell of El Nino sits right over it all the time. On the other side of the Pacific, so over here, is the Easter Island, where the high pressure sits over Easter Island all the time. And the oscillation between those two pressure modulates the jet stream patterns, which drives the El Nino.
Okay.
So I think it's internally modulated by this electronic effect. And it's tied to surface expressions of mantle vortexes and plate tectonics. They call this triple junctions, the plate theory. A new theory or a newer theory, surge tectonics considers them as vortex structures. So a little review of the geology. Triple junctions you can think of as
handcuffs
tetrahedron,
like real researchers and scientists so
it's a Y
much,
circuit.
so it just trickles
if you
so
look at a
slowly
plate tectonic map,
through
you'll see
society.
where the Ys
Like
are located.
it just
This is
allow you
important
to
to
inch
I can
long.
get
Yeah,
into
we're
that
gonna
a
get
little
there,
bit
but
more in a minute.
inches.
This is
Yeah,
important.
don't
how
make them
they,
stampede.
Geometry a bit.
to understand. All right, if you
Well, this is
understand
where
the natural
it's very difficult
geometry
to
of the
explain
Earth,
the
like what they're
addition of
trying to
another
explain, then you can
chestahedron to
maybe
this.
get the
But
free
the
energy.
single chestahedron, if it rotates one direction,
You can build
the,
anything,
either the electronics
you know,
or
essentially,
actually,
yeah.
as I showed you on the North Pole, you had the two double
That's
deltas.
the lesser
If
regions.
you had two of these chestahedrons together,
And he's showing the
that's when
quartz
you get the
crystals
double-
containing it as
the
well.
double delta that's expressed quartz crystals. But if you relate that to the human heart, you see what they call an inline or a expanding vortex structure.
Names.
Y at the tip.
Hand me that thing over
You
there.
have to spin
Why do we need to
this,
have a name?
otherwise it,
That
He did
one.
relate it to the human heart.
and there's a
Jeff.
collapse
Everything has so
vortex.
many names. I'm a warrior.
All right.
I don't need that many names for things.
Picture is very
Just
common
give me
when you
that.
start looking at
Thank
things
you.
with this perspective. You see this
I'm hungry.
shape.
Give me some of that
And,
right there.
so there's
What's
a Y
this
here,
name
Y here.
for?
There's a bit of an offset. And I want to show how that relates to the South Pole. This was in my last year's presentation. I mentioned the Y circuits at the South Pole. Didn't talk about the North Pole last year, but looking at Quinn's magnetic model, again, you're looking at the shallow in the reds and yellows, and the deep double layer here. It's pretty much offset where the change in the magnetic field goes from positive to negative along this double layer, pretty close. And you see, consider these where the circuits, in other words, there's a Y circuit here and a Y circuit here. The solar connection is through that. The solar connection is in the middle, but it's connected across two of these Y structures, two of these dual antenna anatotufts to develop your Ys. So there's Ys here, 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 which relates to your offset of the double chestahedron. And then the next co-rotating layer out here on your mantle ridge that goes all the way around Antarctica which provides your transformer effect to the plasma.
It's because Antarctica is a circle.
There's your next co-rotating layer, and the next set of
Funny how everything ends up being a perfect
next set of
circle when you're
dual
talking about
antenna
going around.
to connect your make your Y circle with the sun.
All right.
I was just
And
trying
again,
to see
over
if I
here,
oh, the echoing
you have another
stopped.
one.
The echoing just stopped. I was trying to
This
see if I
side,
could
close
fix it.
to where the South Pole actually manifests. The ring here, you notice this bright spot.
Oh, there it goes again.
That's associated with a tectonic
Pear-shaped
feature
echo,
right
though.
here.
That's
And
okay.
we think this increased
good.
brightness indicates some energy transfer.
I don't hear an echo on my side here. How about?
The
Do you have
tectonics
a?
are
Do you
the
have a?
core,
That's better.
or through an
That works.
upper
That's
mantle
clear.
circuit.
Whatever you just did.
And I want to relate this collapsed vortex.
I muted my
feature,
mic.
Or this double chestahedron,
But
rotating
not from
double chestahedron
StreamYard,
to
from my
some-
microphone.
Some things you might be familiar with.
Oh, that's it.
Most of you've seen the magnetic hoops or the energy on the sun, the coronal mass ejections, your co-rotating layers,
So much better.
and what
It's so
are
much
called
better.
Tesla streams, connection back to the sun. But the Great Sand Dunes near Alamosa, Colorado, exhibit a similar structure. You see a feature here in the sand dunes. It looks like a collapsed vortex. And you see your area here. Now, this is caused by winds that rotate around the mountains, what they call the thermals that come up. People hang glide and stuff up there, and then it comes back. But there's also a vortex set up here of your wind shears coming across the mountain. So you have a fairly stable vortex set up by the topography that create this feature of the sand dunes. And real streams are on both sides of this. So it looks like an analogous type of feature controlled possibly by the same geometry. What was interesting about this is, Mick, are you out there? Mick Davis, our executive director, me and him were driving to Alamosa, and we stopped by the Great Sand Dunes. His son was in the Boy Scouts. They were having a jamboree. We stopped by for a visit, went to the visitor center, and we had just been talking about these collapsed vortex structures on the drive down.
I lived in Alamosa.
And we went to the
You did?
visitor center, and we were looking at a map of the sand
The
dunes.
middle of Colorado,
And I said,
middle
hey,
of
Mick,
nowhere.
you see that feature there? We were just talking
Alamosa,
about that.
Colorado. That's where it is.
And that's kind of how
I thought it
we
was in
noticed
Mexico.
This relationship.
I guess there could be other Alamosas.
So it was just
No, I don't know.
happenstance that
I'm wrong.
Probably.
I had no idea.
Use this in this topic
Probably.
because
Yeah.
we just happened to be
Alamosa,
driving
New
down there to
Mexico?
look at some other things. But now I want to show you how this relates to polar aura. Again, you see in the polar aura, you see these collapsed vortex features. There's your north and your south poles, your double layer,
That's where I saw UFOs.
your Tesla streams. And you notice that here's your day-night time boundary. And I'm going to show you an animation so you'll see the relationship. But this day-nighttime boundary, this fat part of the donut, always points towards the night, towards midnight. Whereas the opening is always pointed towards the sun. And what I started thinking about was, what causes that? Is that just a solar wind effect? Or is there something deeper related to this? And it dawned on me that possibly the inner core is attracted towards the sun, while the outer core keeps this shape. And what you're looking at in the aura is like an MRI, a magnetic resonant image of the inner and outer core relationships through the aura. So with that concept, I thought to think about that a little harder. And
That's amazing.
let's see, what's the next slide? I started thinking about how the circuits that I looked at earlier, how that was related. And I can review this again. This was in last year's presentation, but your Y circuits at the South Pole, Delta circuits at the north, connected through the ridge structures. These specific rise being what I consider a hot circuit, and so is the Southeast Indian Ridge. And the return, I believe, is in these cooler ridges. So you have a return flow back towards the south. So this is where your currents are, your dominant currents on the planet. And what's interesting is also looks like an inline feature versus a collapse feature. This runs to the west before it heads up north. I'll show you a gravity map in a minute that makes it a little bit easier to see. But it looks like in the mantle, you're also seeing a reflection of the inner outer core geometry, the chestahedron geometry, as you are in the aurora. So you get repeating geometry in the different layers. And this is where your Aleutian low, remember I talked about the Aleutian low, that delta at the North Pole. Iceland's right here, and Lake Baikal or that high pressure. So you see the delta relationship between these electrical circuits seem to be connected. Let's see, I have any other items? Okay, so one more concept is that as this Earth is spinning through these magnetic fields set up by the inner and outer core, and the same feature repeats in the plasmasphere, the compression on the solar side, the tail on the away side from the sun. So you have that same feature in the plasmasphere, you have it in the mantle, you have it in the inner and outer core. The Earth is rotating through that magnetic field, and it simply excites the electrical energy by the induction process as it rotates through these fields. And so you're seeing lightning and earthquake data that are related.
So you're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry. Yeah, let's reverse that. So Earth isn't rotating through the magnetic field. Okay.
Yeah,
the magnetic
that's what I was
field
about to ask.
is actually rotating through Earth. Is actually rotating around Earth. Why? Because the sun is going around us.
Yeah.
It's charging us. It's that rotation is actually charging.
Yeah, it's funny how like right towards the end he had to like go into how it's rotating, like, you know what I mean? Like he was basically saying in order for it to work, it needs to be rotating. But no, that's
what
not
proof
that's
you
not,
have that the Earth is rotating? No, you can easily rotate the magnetic field itself and get the exact same effect and results. Okay,
Yeah.
and get everything that he's saying. All you have to do is reverse it, just like the song said. Just reverse it, and then suddenly the electric universe fits.
It's like this. It's like the art of inversion that they play on us, like the Satanist, right? They practice the art of inversion, like Aleister Crowley. Do everything backwards. Eat backwards. Walk backwards. Take a shit backwards. Breathe backwards. Friggin' learn how to speak in tongues backwards. You know. So they just put everything backwards. So in order for us to figure out the truth, we just need to take everything they give us and reverse it back the right way. It's crazy, but then it's hard to figure out what we need to reverse and what's right and what, you got to use your own discernment, but it's pretty crazy.
It's building a puzzle. You put the piece in the spot and see if it fits. And some pieces look similar and looks like it kind of fits, but not quite. But we're doing it without the picture, so.
And also this whole, if you think about this whole electrical thing, all right, what is electricity? Electricity is light. Who is the light bearer? Lucifer, right? Lucifer was Lucifer, and then whenever God sent, you have a different name in heaven. Everyone has a different name in heaven. When they cast him down,
it's not though. Like
when they cast him down to hell, he became Satan.
Yeah,
they changed his name.
See, and I'm starting to find out that it's not light. That's a trick. It's actually vibration. And where does vibration come from? God, the voice of God. God said, "Let there be light." That voice, that vibration, that drew the light into existence. It was vibration first, before even light.
I think it was like a sonoluminescence. Like there was water, right? There was water first. Everything was water, and then God said, "Let there be light," and all of a sudden it was like, shh, and then it went through the water, and the sound lit up the water. The vibration from his voice was so powerful. He was at the right frequency that he lit everything up, and everything started.
Yeah, it's a star in a jar of stuff. Yeah, Thunderbolt Project did that too.
I'll show you the
I have
animation.
an idea about that. Like cymatics, right? So if God's voice was cymatics, and he were to speak to us, it would literally tear us apart. That's why we can't hear God's voice. Otherwise, it would kill us.
That's interesting. I never
like
heard
in
that
Dogma.
I never seen that movie either.
I watched
that's
parts
interesting.
of that.
Yeah, God's voice will kill you if you hear the voice of God.
Stigmata.
So here's his this other part I want to show you. Let's see.
So you can see that the fat part of the donut stays towards the night side, towards the midnight. And really, as the sun, if you look at a heliocentric model, you're seeing the sun here and the earth is spinning. They do just the opposite. They keep the earth still here and spin the magnetic or the aurora. But it's just a relativistic thing.
What was that? Just a relativistic thing? But see, he just showed you that they did both ways, and it worked just fine. He just said it's relative.
Yeah, it's like he's like, it's however you want to look at it, basically.
For the love of space, man. For the love of space. That's why I love space, man.
It's right there, but it says it in the words right there on the screen.
And watch Ancient Aliens and the History Channel and freaking NASA Network, and they just love that stuff. Those are the cartoons to them. Those are Saturday morning cartoons.
Dude, I was watching it the other day, and they were showing like what was it, the satellite we got going, the Juno satellite going around. It was like completely CGI. It was something they made on a computer, and it was like a little circle thing spinning like this, going through a computer world of like dots that look like stars, and it went by like Mars or Jupiter or whatever it was supposed to be. Some orange ball.
I had a really nice program back in the day where you could fly through the universe. Go to all these stars. You go there and track the time in UI time and all kinds of really nice program called the Starry Night Backyard. You could go throughout the universe and you could turn back and look at Earth or not see Earth, and it was really cool. I'd play around with it for days and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna go into space and just go to all these places. Awesome program. And just that's about it. That's all it is. It's a great video game. But it was all, I think I might have it over here.
So he goes on to explain how this relates to this energy movement.
I want you to see that the donut shape does point towards the
lightning
all the time.
You
almost
find
every night.
in
there's a relationship to when it shuts down. Sometimes they think it's related to an El Niño
Venezuela,
phase,
and he relates it to like other energy spots, gravitational anomalies, which
software
I think are magnetic anomalies, not gravitational form. And then he makes some relation to like 3 hurricanes coming together in Florida and its increase in lightning strikes. And that's kind of the end of it. But I just want to show like he was tracking energy spikes, magnetic energy spikes in the earth, and he used a natural shape, and he plotted it. He plotted it on the map, and he found that it correlated to all these energy spikes on the earth.
Yeah,
like the people before us, and there's probably ley lines part of all these movements. And he also discovered that the North Pole and the South Pole were very important in all this energy movement. We all can agree on that.
I'm just taking this all in. Yeah. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to,
no. I mean,
in my head, I'm just
heliocentric and geocentric can all agree on like these
Yeah,
things, like
well-
how this energy
well, yeah.
moves.
This is interesting because it just shows like all these shapes right here can be combined to make different other shapes. And I'm just looking at the shapes and I'm thinking like, all right, well, there's a triangle right there. Then that one makes a little triangle in the middle with those triangles, and it's a lot of triangles, but then it makes like an octagon and a hexagon, and you can almost see a Satan star in there. Yeah,
All of them. Yeah, exactly. But
the Freemasons use all these symbols on all their shit. It's almost like they're putting it in our face, like, haha, we know how everything works. You fucking people don't.
It doesn't work unless you use the symbols, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe it draws upon that energy.
They put everything right in our face. Everything's right in our face. Everything is right there. We just need to figure out how to tune into it and notice it and look at it and take a second and be mindful of it and not just let it go by on the screen. Really, actually look and see what the fuck it's trying to say.
So you want to take a break? I'm going to see if Wendy wants to show her stuff, if she's still awake and wants to
then
show her art project.
Yeah, we'll take a break.
I put something in chat. If one of you could share it to the screen.
All right, I got it.
Whatever. Not important. I mean, it is. It's funny.
All right, let me see if I can get it up.
It's a tribute to.
Oh, is something I have to download? All right, we'll do it. I'm going to download it. We'll do it after the break, after we come back, because I can play a song.
40 seconds. It's just 40 seconds. I just made it up really quick.
It's going to take me a minute to download it, though. While this thing is running, yeah, give me a second. All right, let me play a song, and then when we come back, we'll play it. Because that's how it's not going to work unless I do that.
Although the music I worked on last week, it's pretty cool.
All right, let me see. What do I got?
I was like, perfect. I'll put this with this.
All right.
It's crazy. It's click. Jeff Duff.
Oh, got the show. Hello.
Prepare yourself for the devastating conclusion of Kill Devil Hills. Coming soon.
Why? See, it was blue, and I washed it, and it turned teal.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I need hold on. I almost got it. I still don't got it yet, but I got it downloaded at least. It's all right. It'll pop up in a second. I seen it.
Practicing to be
At least I've seen it.
A heretic.
It's there.
It's like all wrapped up in like stuff like this, with my staff.
Yeah.
In the park on a something and be like, that old man is crazy. Look at him. He's all heretic and stuff.
Nope.
That's the only thing I need.
Winter. What the heck,
right,
dude?
give it a
Yesterday
second.
it hailed twice. I made an ice ball and threw it in May in California. And today it was raining and cold.
I was here too.
Wearing winter clothing half the day. This is crazy. It's like I think they wanted it worse than that too. Imagine if the level that they wanted would probably be really bad.
It's
All right,
okay,
here it is.
Aaron.
This is what he get. This is Syngeman made this.
That's awesome.
I did that while we were sitting here.
I'm trying to download it too. Like, how do I download this?
Do you get my humor? Thank you.
While he's sitting there,
I had to give you some kind of tribute because I love you so much.
No, I'm going back.
So
Yeah,
so
I
you
want a
can
copy
tell
of
you
that
can
so I
tell
can download it.
you can tell Syngeman's been really paying attention to the class here with the electrical universe. He's really he's been paying, and they're like drawing MK out his name as many different ways as he can on his notebook over there. You know what I mean?
Damn, you got a
It's like-
better
it
intro
was like
than
it-
I do already. For me, I'm no good.
You're like he's over here
I
trying
gotta
to
learn
teach us the
blending,
electrical
right?
universe. He's trying to break it down from the globe Earth, make it flat, and he's sitting there doodling with his markers and his pencil.
That's
sideways. Write it with a
sucked
heart
in
next
school,
to it.
dude.
Write
In
it with
school,
a
it was
bird
like-
wing around it.
And that's how it was in school. I remember this when I was learning the times table. It was so hard for me because I just couldn't concentrate on it. When I finally learned it, my teacher was amazed. I was like, "Yeah, I just finally concentrated on it. It's easy." But I didn't. I was
a
drawing
lot.
cool stuff. I'm drawing pyramids and flames and joints and marijuana leaves. Don't you get it? I look back.
The Earth being the
That's
Earth
the same.
being a battery is a lot. It's a lot to take in. The first time I seen
Thank
it, I
you.
was like, you Singe. I was like, I couldn't even watch it. I was like, whoa. Then I seen it a few times, and then Austin, Austin had on his show, and I learned a little bit more. I paid a little bit more attention. Every time I see it, I pay a little bit more attention to it. Now tonight, I learned a little bit more. And shout out to Hibbler, the movie The Next Level, right? If you guys haven't seen that yet, they talk about it. They talk about the North Pole and
Why don't you do a view night?
You know,
Do a view night for the next level.
we could play. We could play it right now, but
No. Set up
you
a
play
night.
it.
Set
It
up a
won't-
night.
We can play it.
I know we could. I got some stuff I want to show too.
Yeah,
Some more stuff.
I just don't. It ain't gonna on my computer. It's not gonna screen share. It's not mirror it. But if we want to,
Now I got to make a video for every guest.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll set up a different night. We'll do it a different night. But yeah, what else you want to share?
Yeah, it's just a couple more things. So Earth being a battery, is kind of big, but our bodies being a battery might be a little bit easier to understand. So I like to relate everything macro, micro, and if it works when you scale it up or down, then you probably found something that's a universal truth. So this is somebody talking about scalar waves and basically saying that the atoms aren't what we think they are. They're waves, and it refers them to a type of waves as a scalar wave, and it's energy based. But he also talks about,
if you think about it, I mean, what is an atom? An atom is a fucking drawing of a fucking thing that looks like a planet with things spinning around it that they show you at school. I mean, has anybody really ever looked at an atom under a microscope? I haven't. Have they ever shown you one?
No, it was on an IBM computer, and it spelled out IBM the first time anybody saw an atom. I looked it up.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I looked it up.
Such bullshit.
Wait, what do you?
All right.
One atom spelled out IBM?
No, they used a bunch of atoms.
Oh, I see. They made it.
But they lit up the electrons, so they knew the atoms were there, and it was individual atoms that spelled out IBM under an electron microscope.
When they first told me about cell life, cellular structure, this is how much of a skeptic I am. In ninth grade, when I first heard about it, I'm like, bullshit. Nope. They actually had to show me through a microscope. I'd look at it and I'm like, oh, okay. That's how much skeptical I am about things.
Yeah.
So you show me, I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
Because there's no way. Little cell life. What are you talking about?
So this comes from a channel called Tesla Tech. It's an awesome source for information. especially about electricity, free energy, things like that. It's definitely hours of endless content. But came across this guy
so
talking
much.
about it.
I
Healing
think they
people
do it on
through
purpose.
electricity.
I think they do it on purpose so that we won't understand electricity. Because when I went to the Museum of Scientism last week or whatever, and they had the room of electricity, there was so much shit, so much high priest of science
Overwhelming.
plastered to the walls that I didn't know where to start. I couldn't even film it all. Like I was trying to film it. I had a camera and I couldn't cover it all. It's all a bunch of BS, and it's all a bunch of well, not all of it. Some of it's probably true. It's probably hidden. It's not all BS. You just gotta. It's tough. It's tough to figure it out. They do it on purpose.
All right, let's see what he has.
To actually heal the body. That was my main goal. And I'll talk briefly about what we call the perpetual source spiral.
You recognize
so this is a
symbol?
spiral for all you mathematics aficionados. It's a spiral that expands by the square root of 2 or equals 1.414. So for every 45 degrees or by 2 for every 90 degrees of rotation, it's a very specific expansion which has a 2-to-1 ratio, okay? The number 2 is the key of the source spiral. So it expands on a very frictionless exponential spiral that remains intact at the microcosmic as well as the macrocosmic level. You see here, this is the spiral, source spiral. And then here you see what's known as the 12-sphere fractal grid. You hear a lot of people in our industry talking about fractal grids. Fractal this, fractal that, right? But they never really show you what the fractal is. And it does look like what's known in the Kabbalah as the tree of life, but it's completely different. This is a fractal based on a 12-sphere grid, where the Kabbalah tree of artificial life is based on a 10-sphere grid. Now, many of you may or may know that I'd say maybe in the next few months, there's going to be a really prominent mathematician that's going to be coming out with some research based on a numerical sequence or mathematics based on the 12. I think it's the law of 12 or something like that. So we're going to go away from the 10, base 10. It's going to be base 12. So it's interesting how we have a base 12 here in this fractal grid. So what are the death sciences? Any technology, body of knowledge, geometry, number sequence, mathematics based on the Fibonacci spiral sequence, phi ratio, golden mean, flower of life, or any religious esoteric teachings that fall under this are considered death sciences in the private sector. And it's very important because when you apply these death science technologies to your life, it may work now. It may get you the results now. But I promise you, when you leave your physical body, that's when you're going to know the difference, because this technology will cause space dust to return. So let's just say we take a look at the human being as a quantum of energy. And some of you may or may not believe in reincarnation. It doesn't really matter, but there are people and beings that do. If you do associate with the death science technology, you're taking the risk of actually perpetually recycling or reincarnating until your core seed atom burns out and you have no memory of your experience in manifest creation. So this is very, I'm not asking you to believe a word I say. I'm asking you to listen to the words behind, or the energy behind my words, because that's where you'll find truth and my intention. Because there are a lot of light-based technologies. Light is very powerful, but light can deceive. Why? Because light refracts. Sound never lies. And that's why we use sound in our technology. The yin-yang. Many of you know of this, but it's actually a recycling mutation. The yin-yang is the core energy flows associated with the two torus, another distorted energy pattern. It has to do with perpetual recirculation. until exhaustion, into cosmic space dust. So everything to me is energy. And it should be for you too, because that's what your true nature is. It's energy. It's not the physical body that you walk around in. So the yin yang system was designed to actually vampire energy from living systems. And it's very prevalent in a black hole universe, which we are in. So the yin yang is built upon the Fibonacci spiral, which is a vampiring spiral. Now, the Fibonacci sequence features a sequence of numerical expansion in which the next expansion number comes about by being added together or devouring the two numbers before it. So let's think of it, the numbers as energy, quantum of energy. The two previous numbers are added together and consumed in order to become the next number, leaving nothing in their place. It's very important. So if you really, really think about it, and you meditate on this, it's kind of scary. So the proof is in the numbers. And for any of you that wants this presentation, just email me and I'll give it to you. So you don't have to take your notes. I'll give you the presentation. So the proof is in the numbers. You can see the sequence of the Fibonacci here, beginning with 0. And it's really, the Fibonacci is derived by adding the two numbers before it in order to get the next one. Whereas here, the source spiral numerical sequence actually has to do with doubling or multiplication times 2. So it's a growth by exponentiation. And it's very, very different when you're dealing with energy. And for those of you that know what I'm talking about, when you're doing mathematical equations that have to do with technologies that deal with energy, you want an energy source that's actually self-perpetuated, self-regenerated, versus something that has to do with recycling until you don't have any more of that source of energy. You have to take it from somewhere else. So here, our coils are based on this sacred geometry, which is actually known as the perpetual source code. Okay, so our coils are hand wound based upon this.
So I liked how he was talking about the energy patterns, and I also found it very interesting that he rejected just like the things that were given to us, like the yin yang and things like that, and all these things as being
something he said was really interesting too. He was like something about, if you listen to me closely, the truth in what I'm saying, like something about the truth, and there's truth in what he's saying. Like he was basically, what I got out of it was he was basically saying like he's trying to tell us the truth, but not every, like you have to figure, like read between the lines, you know?
Yeah, I mean he's saying like the whole system it's based off of stealing our energy and basically consuming it to nothingness almost, where like even like the Fibonacci spiral itself, he said, consume the next number before and leaving nothing in return. So I guess I'm really interested in spiraling energies and vortexes, and so learning about this source spiral was awesome. But the other part in this lecture that I really wanted to talk about that referred to the electric universe was down here. I just found that very interesting.
So let's talk about a misconception with vibration, right? Most people talk about, hey, you have high vibration, man. You're a high consciousness being with high vibration. Well, no. In actuality, vibration is energy holding. It's internal movement, okay, when we're dealing with source particles. Oscillation is external movement or energy expansion. So this vibratory oscillation rate is the rate at which source particles flash on and off, So they are in direct proportion to each other. As vibration increases, things get dense. things get, the energy is more held, right?
Wow.
As oscillation decreases, energy expands. So this whole thing about the higher the vibration, the better, it's wrong. It should be higher oscillation when it comes to attaining higher dimensional consciousness or higher dimensional perspectives. Okay, so
that's a trip.
So even like
that's a trip,
right?
Because it goes with the law of duality, light and dark, black and white, like flashing lights. You know how I was talking about when you see the shadow people. I was flashing the lights. It's the same type of shit. Like he's talking about oscillation, right? Not vibration, and that's the pulsing in between. And he was saying that that's how you can get into higher frequencies, and that's interesting, dude, because like you gotta oscillate faster to get into higher frequencies. It's like they know,
And think about
they know
the language they gave us, how the Beach Boys and all these talk about good vibrations and all this stuff. Not a single person talked about oscillation, and oscillation is how we affect everything else. Oscillation is the expansion outwards of the energy. So it's like if it's all good vibrations, that seems very selfish in its sense. All good vibrations, it's all internal, all me. I absorb it all, keep it all for myself.
I just thought of it. Yeah, you gotta. I'm not even gonna say nothing else. I was gonna say something, but it wouldn't be a good joke. All right,
I read a book about that. Before I even woke up, I read a book about that, and it's about evolving, and basically the people that evolved, they just basically disappeared. They just like faded away, I guess, because they were vibrating at a different frequency.
Yeah, it exactly vibrated just straight off this place.
And it was talking about how the thought of that scared people.
I remember when me and my girl, when we were first trying to have kids, it took a few years, it took a few tries, and she got an oscillation test. And then next thing you know, it lets her know when she's oscillating. And we had 2 kids like that after that.
Ovulation test.
Oh, ovulation. Oh, all right. I got it mixed up.
I was just about to look it up. I was like, really? I didn't know about this. I was just about to know about it. Ovulating, I do know about this.
I had to get it in. I thought about it. I was like, how can I make this joke sound all right? Boom, got it in.
Got it. Let me see if there's anything else on here.
So,
boom, baby.
Yeah. So here is you'll see a video of, they look like lights in Broadway, right? The series of flashing bulbs. Just see if this works.
Light bright.
No. Maybe that.
All right, that's all I have. So
that's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So okay, what I've watched other people's studies, I guess.
Yeah.
The torus field. The one that we're in a torus field. That's the battery, I guess. What you're saying.
Yeah.
And then why were there one? Why couldn't there be another one and another one, or infinite ones? And then
those green circles.
Oh, Matrix.
Those green circles he was showing on the globe, but it's really a flat Earth, but whatever. The circles almost look like the Northern Lights. Like, that's like when we see the Northern Lights, that could be what we're seeing from the North Pole. The discharge of the energy. Boom.
Which they've seen in other places besides the Northern Lights recently, actually.
You seen Northern Lights and you seen Northern Lights in different places besides where they were supposed to be?
People have, yes.
Oh,
recently. I'll find that too. Hold on.
Yeah,
yeah. We got a whole show for that one.
So do you think
it's all good.
that they built? So I have a crazy theory that after the reset, they built this grid-based system because the last one, they fucked with the Earth grid, the energy Earth grid. And like you were saying, and other people have said, that caused a meltdown or even multiple meltdowns after rebuilds. And now they came up with this version, which is containing the energy within all these wires and things like that and moving it around. And, you know, and it's good for them too because they can charge us for it at the same time. They found a way to charge us for it. So
charging for us.
It's
both
things. I think they're
negative energy.
They're afraid to pull from the system, their system, because maybe they still have the esoteric knowledge about what happened.
Charges. Oh, that's great.
It's weird how they're trying to like do away with money at the same time as they're bringing on all this information about free energy.
Well, it's because digital fiat's easier than.
I know they've had.
Yeah, and pretty soon it's going to be just a social score or something. They're not even going to, right? Eventually, it's going to be like based on what we do in life.
Every time someone invented something over the past 30 years, they ended up disappearing mysteriously.
That's true. And even if you did get the patent, they would sit on it and make you disappear, make you go bankrupt and have no money. And then when you disappeared, then they would take your patent and use it. You know?
Yeah. Oh, then ones we don't hear about, probably people just sold right away, going, "Hey, I better just sell this because I value my life."
Yeah. Well, I heard about
anytime
a lab in Utah invented a way to break apart CO2 particles and basically said all this crap about climate change and about cars emitting CO2 would be nothing because you just hook this up to your muffler and it makes it so your car doesn't produce any more carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide or any CO2.
Well, it should be that simple. Yeah, a filter that you just change.
It uses an electrical voltage, like it shot electricity through the air coming through it or something like that. But they tried to bring it to all the car manufacturers and none of them would buy it. None of them would take it. You know, nobody wanted it. And then it got buried.
Give me 1 second. So, I'm gonna bring
someone wanted it, right? I could just picture it, like if you're in the store, the lower guy, you're like, "Oh, this is great. Let me contact my other guy," and he's like, "Shh." "Oh, where? You don't like this? Shut up." Okay. Oh, I see. I get it. You don't want us to have this. Okay, well, yeah, it's just at the lower level guys. They're like, "Shoot, I almost." Oh, you know, they might even just lose their job over just entertaining the idea. You didn't know that you weren't supposed to. I don't know. But yeah, who would you approach with that? I guess you board members or something like that, right? So it's like.
Yeah. And the other problem he had was they would contact the engineers, but the engineers didn't know how to get a hold of the executives in order to greenlight this. The engineers would love it and be like, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's put these on our cars. Freaking zero carbon emissions. We're gonna make a killing. We're gonna be the greenest car on the planet, you know, and things like that, or on the plane." And
I know I say that all the time. Yeah, I get myself.
Well, I'm speaking in the voice of the engineer, so I became a
nice. Yeah, I get myself.
Engineer.
Whatever. The realm.
But yeah, so the engineers didn't know how to get a hold of the executives, so there was no way for like business to talk to actual inventors and engineers and people who actually build stuff. There's this giant disconnect.
Yeah, nice. You guys are gonna love this. All right, so I just did while you guys were talking, I just did a quick search for free energy devices historic construction photos. historic construction photos of free energy devices. Look, you want to see what I got? You want to see what I got? Let's go.
What invention do you have, Samoan? I'll go.
You guys
We're
in
the house.
You guys gave
Where
me
the
some.
girl-
You guys gave me
girl.
some last minute inspiration. Let's see. Is it sharing yet? Hold on. I'm waiting for it to share. My thing's being slow tonight. Yeah, go ahead. Give a shout out. What's going on with this? Why is it shaking?
Shout
so
out.
much?
And we got Mr. Super.
It should be sharing now.
Sidewire.
Hold on.
We got Algorithm, Smurfer Girl,
Hold on.
whatevs.
Here we go.
What's up?
We're not fake over here. We're so real. We're retarded.
Present.
Or at least I am. I'm just better at like doing kung fu where you don't have to.
Luna.
You guys can see it. You guys
stuff.
can see it. Look at all these different free energy devices. What do we got here?
How much do they cost?
This.
They're free. Singe, didn't you hear?
These are all right. So we got top of the
Free
tower
energy.
capacitor. This is magnifying transmitter. It looks like two teepees that you get in a drink at a bar. You know, like those little things that they give
That
you.
looks like some like weather control type thing. What is this?
I mean, I don't know. I could have drew this myself. Let's see what else we got.
Are they drawing it from the atmosphere with that? What is that?
I have no idea, Singe. I'm just shooting in the dark here. Look at
we'll read it. Go back to
this
it.
thing is light and
we'll read it.
I couldn't move in. You want me to go back to it? I will, but it's small. I'm telling you, I can't zoom in. It's not like
No, what's it say that? The wireless history
They're not
training. No, what's it say that?
Look,
Wireless.
they're showing us, but they're not letting me zoom in on the secret. Okay. It's still top secret. All right. They're giving you a little hint, but you need to figure the rest out on yourself. Okay. And don't do this at home because I don't know what this is. I'm not recommending it.
One of those.
All right. There's so many of them. If you like that one, you're really gonna love these ones. I really should have had this prepared. Oh my God.
We need some UFO
All right,
technology.
so this one's lighting up a light. What is it doing though? What is it hooked up?
It's a
coil.
It's a piece of wood.
Coiled
It's a piece
together.
of wood lighting up a light.
And there's magnets. See, it's stacked on magnets.
Stacked on magnets, exactly. So it's creating a magnetic field, and it's pulling from the ether, from the magnetic field.
Magnets glued together opposite, so it's creating a huge thing. That's my
It's
guess.
pretty bright. That's pretty bright. And look at the wire.
Just glue them together opposite. They couldn't pull apart, right? But the energy's still going to be there. They couldn't. I want to make a neodymium staff and then walk around with computers. Like walk to the store with your neodymium magnetic staff and watch everybody's computers crash.
Yo, look at this on the blueprint right here.
No, thank you.
You see anything familiar? Look at these triangles right here on the blueprint. Oh, they're like, the triangles that are in like a diamond shape that are like in a circle. Where it says white cable underneath. You see
That
that?
music was hypnotic. Where are
Right
you
where
watching?
that arrow is. Can you see it? It looks like the friggin' shapes we were just looking at. The same shit. Look at the X, the circle with the X. X marks the spot, motherfucker. All right.
With music, Sean.
Look at this. Free energy devices. Crystal links. Crystal links. Let's see. So look, this one has letters on it like R, R, I, M. Looks like you're riding a bike. It has cranks. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. What do you guys can weigh in on these. If anything pops out to you, just speak up. What do we got here? This looks pretty interesting. Chapter aerial systems, free energy devices. Brush discharge electrode.
Potatoes. I love potatoes, and they're free energy.
This is pretty interesting to look. It's a circle, and there's a square in the center.
That should be enough, though, Simone, right? If you could make potato show electricity, that should be enough to tell us that we're missing something. Because if a potato can do it, there's something that can do it more, better, equally as free.
See if you can find any videos of them lighting up a thing with a potato, and we'll bring it up.
Oh, you don't know you can do that?
That would be. No, I've seen it. I know you can, but let's bring it up. Let's show them.
Just like it's 7th grade science experiment.
I'm just gonna keep.
You can make a battery with a couple of liquids and a salt bridge. You know,
I discovered recently.
yo, look at this. No, this one's funny. This one's funny. Look, Monday, June 28th. Monday.
I gotta do that.
Look, this looks like something he made for school. Look, Monday, June 28th, 2010. Don L. Smith device. Don L. Smith. It's by him. He made this. This is his device.
Well, I give him an
induction. Yeah, look. Resident induction energy transfer device. Free power with an exclamation point. And then look. Danger. Warning, danger, high voltage.
Well, I invented one.
This guy's got free energy and high voltage.
Yeah, that's great. If you can get high voltage free, that's great. Oh, I invented one in miniature with 2 neodymium magnets on bars swinging. So that when the one neodymium magnet comes up, it pushes the other one away. But the weight of the magnet is enough for it to only go so far and come back. And then it pushes the other one away. And then the weight of that comes back. See, I made free energy, and I just described to you how easy it is in miniature. So you can do it.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. They had a whole bunch of stuff like this at the Museum of Science, but I didn't understand any of it.
Oh, it's not free, right? You'd have to give it a push every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's almost free. Every once in a while, you got to give it a little push or something.
So I tried that.
This one looks
the magnets and hanging it, and what happens is a little bit of the energy kind of pushes off to the side, and eventually they always settle. Because I could never get it in one pack.
Oh, you have to do it on a solid bar, yeah.
Yeah, you have to keep it on a bar. I didn't have a curved bar. If I had a perfect curved bar, I could probably have kept them going. But they.
Oh, exactly. I just did it like miniature and held it there, and then kind of moved it. I was like, oh, okay. If I did it that quickly, that easily, if you really took time and some.
Yeah, the circle one.
$62 million per day.
Curved bar.
You probably figure it out.
Yeah,
like a Newton's cradle. Just keep going.
The circle one, you know about this?
Wouldn't mind inventing something like that. Magnetic Newton's cradle.
We should do it just to go black.
This says U.S. Patent Office has 2 free energy devices on file. Should we click on that?
Those I've seen a lot. Those are interesting. They get a lot of energy, and they're not free, but almost free. Yeah. It's got to give it a push.
Yeah.
Or maybe have a small battery hooked up to it or something.
Small crank start.
A lot of the ones on YouTube could be hooked ones with the battery hidden in there, edited out or whatever. But you can.
All right, let me narrate. Let me narrate for a minute. All right, ready?
U.S. Patent Office.
U.S. Patent Office has 2 free energy devices on file. Decades of suppression. Revealed here in its entirety is a patent which, due to probable suppression, by political, military, and/or economic interest you've never heard about, granted to inventor Howard Johnson on April 24th, 1979, the rights to which have inspired since 1996, patent number 4151431. See there also patent number 54. So these are two patents that 54402-021 also issued to Howard Johnson. So let's see if I click on it. All right. Well, in short, it's a patent device capable of producing unlimited free energy with zero environmental impact. A device resembling an electric motor. A device resembling an electric motor, which produces work without electrical input, using only permanent magnets for motive force, what some might call perpetual motion, what conventional science based on incomplete information in theory with respect to the atomic motion occurring within a permanent magnet. Look at these things. There's the pictures.
Great. That's I want to get one.
These are government. The government has 2 patents already on free energy. He then goes into link. I can show you guys the patents. They're right there. I want to click on them just to see what. Let's just see what it does. I don't know if it's going to actually bring me. This is one of them. Well, I'm here. You might as well get it on the stream.
I forgot how badass Purple Girl was. He's like chemistry.
I didn't know I was going to find this. It was the Flat Earth Farms that made me do it. It's the Flat Earth Farms that made me look this shit up. I don't know. I got inspired.
Nice. Must be having a little sativa.
This site can't be reached.
Yeah.
Lock.
Hey.
Look. Oh,
speak out to.
Let's see what this one says.
This goes out to Flat Earth Farms, your sponsor.
Yeah, he's not just my sponsor. He's a lot of people's sponsors, but yeah, he's great. We made a few little things. Look at that. They're not letting me into the site for the patents. They're not letting me into the sites for the patents.
You should hook up an account with
crazy.
The World Economic Forum. I have an account with the World Economic Forum, and you can only go in a certain level until you get an account. Once you get the account, you can go in deeper, and it's incredibly weird. The plans that they have for humanity, it's all laid out.
Is it kind of like
forum?
To get and
it's in a circle.
To get in the
You can just get an account. You make a address. Yeah, it's just like
I'm saying. Is it the same as getting a Rockfin account? Is it hard like getting?
No,
is it hard getting into Rockfin?
Incredibly,
it's easy, bro. Come on, Ray. You can solve that.
Going in so many levels.
I just haven't tried that at all. Honestly, I haven't even really looked yet.
That makes it the hardest.
Yeah, I've been too lazy. It's not even. I usually say that I don't have time, but it's not even that, dude. I've been too lazy.
The levels of subjects that it has in there, it's like so deep. I'm wondering how much is in there. Like I would like to dig around for stuff like this that they talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't want to. All right, hold on. What are you saying? Should I get off this? Should I come back? Let me come back to Earth. Yeah, I was on a roll, but
yeah, that's Robin.
Awesome. That was awesome.
I can get it back up again. I want to come back for a second and smoke a bowl. Hold on, let me press some buttons. What do we got here? It's about to smoke a bowl. So.
You must be show 61 or over. I mean, that's what we are. Oh, 66.
All right,
so
guess what, guys? I'm about to smoke a bowl. It's time to shoot the moon.
So be it, Harry. Pass the word along. Tell the men it's time to shoot the moon. Shoot the moon! Not out there on the microphone. On the microphone. Shoot the moon. Shoot
the moon. Where'd you get that clip? That's good.
Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke.
That's Cheech and Chong up in.
Yeah, I know.
Did I give that
copy, or did you grab that yourself?
I got him. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got it
'cause I
on
remember
YouTube.
doing
They
that.
got,
Okay.
they got all
I
those.
remember doing that one.
You think we should get crazy tonight and put the link out? Let's see.
Okay.
Let's invite
Been a
people.
while, huh?
It's
See what people have to
Friday somewhere. And
Well, we
some
know
of you
this show's coming down. This show ain't staying up.
You know what we could do? I know, you're right.
Although he knows that he can always edit out the end.
Yeah.
Just make like put a song right here.
I could
Then you
put
can
the
look
link
on
out. I could put the
song.
link out and cut the stream. I could cut the stream to just Odyssey, but then we'd lose a lot of people. I could put the link out, cut the stream on Boston Ray, and go over to Michelle L. I think that's what we're gonna do.
Or we have a
All
good
right,
crowd. I don't think we'll lose it. Everybody knows by now.
Be all right.
Yeah, who do we got? All right.
We
Hey,
can
do you
edit
think
it.
I'll be all right?
Well, I'm not gonna say anything.
I know you're right. I know I can't edit it now. That's what I've been doing. I've been going back and editing all my streams. All right.
I made a whole
All right, you guys,
like 2-minute thing
I'll let
be
you
going
guys
MK, and then I only used like 2 seconds of it.
Ultra.
I was laughing. It's so funny being an editor because you might do some weird thing motion like look at this number with it or something like that, or say some weird stuff for 10 minutes into your phone and then edit it out. And it's like you do the stupidest stuff editing videos. It's a hilarious hobby.
my StreamYard does this weird thing now where it gets all big on me.
Artist and the editor and the director and a musician, all.
All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I can't do anything, can I? All right, it's gonna let me do that. Okay, I'm gonna play a song.
None of us really can. It's all an illusion.
All right, let's take a break, and then I'm gonna put the link out. I'm gonna put the link out
We're
during
gonna
the
let
break.
the Universe Club
All right.
party on, everybody. Pump up the volume. Pump up the volume. All I want to do, I want to zoom, zoom, zoom. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what haven't we heard in a while?
Dead air. Stop being dead air. Okay, check this out. We used to get these in the mail from AOL to try to get us to go on the internet.
Oh yeah, I remember. Saw my first boobies because of that.
These are like made of like some nice cardboard, really, really thick stuff. It's like
I put out the StreamYard link, I think, if anyone wants to join. I don't know. I was thinking I've seen a lot of cool stuff lately that I could probably show.
that's what a laser looks
know
like when you look at it.
I don't know if my computer will show it, dude. My computer's being so slow tonight.
It's an electric universe. Look, you can't see it.
Yeah, I might have
You
to call
can't
it.
see it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's already like 2 a.m, dude.
And I've been
That's
up
what-
since
yeah,
4.
we might have to call it tonight. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow too. So
Let's
I have to
call
make
it
so I
then.
thought
Let's get you
I will-
doctor's appointment.
I woke up today and
Gotta do your-
I thought it was today.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's call it a night, dude. We did what we could. We covered the electrical universe.
It was a good.
All
It was
right.
a good start. It's a good start. Maybe get some wheels turning, get people thinking about looking into it because
Yeah,
there's some
I
energy.
don't-
There's some free energy out there.
I don't know much.
And I'm
about
not
it,
going to figure out how to
but-
get it all.
Yeah. All right. Well, good night, guys. This show is going into the distance.
All right, guys.
Boom.
It was nice seeing you guys.
Boom.
Free your mind, let your senses win, and see the sun above us spin. It doesn't said like we've been told to think. Just sails into the distance. Hark now, hear the sailors cry. Lost at sea, but in the night. Saved by a far-off beam of light as it shines across the flat ocean. And when the fog all goes, I can see the truth that shows. When the fog all goes, I can feel it, and I'll never fear it, 'cause I freed my twisted soul, bent by lies since I was 1 day old. The sun doesn't set like we've been told, it just sails into the distance. 'Cause I freed my twisted soul, bent by lies since I was 1 day old. The sun doesn't set like we've been told, it just sails into the distance.
He slipped away again. Oh, it was getting really bad before that song, huh? It was echoing and
was it?
Doing all kinds of roboting stuff.
Dang.
Like it is now. Damn. Might be me. So I just muted it. Yeah, that was a great song. He's so good. It's just like it's a little bit rough at the one part. It's just it's perfectly. It's like perfect.